Hey everyone, welcome back to Pine Hollow Auto Diagnostics. Today we have a 2012 Honda Odyssey with a charging system problem. It has 170,000 miles and the customer complaint is on his dash. A message comes up, check charging system. He took it to the dealer. They said you need new parts or alternator, and there's an oil leak dripping onto the alternator, and they said you have like a week to drive it and then it's going to break. But he's been driving it for a few months. It doesn't affect drivability, just this warning comes up and he wants it addressed, so let's take a look. Alright, so the trouble code stored in memory is a P1549 charging system high voltage. We want to see, now this problem is intermittent, so you want to take a look at the freeze frame to see what the charging system voltage was when this code set. So you're looking for battery voltage. There you go, battery 16.4, so the PCM did not like that. This is a smart charging system. You can see the load value is 6.5 amps. Everything else is normal. So let's fire it up right now and see what the voltage is. Let's see if you read data stream. Let's do battery. About 14 volts. This is perfectly normal. And alternator control, alternator L signal, alternator, and also this ELD. That's the I don't even see it on here. The load. Let's see, load. ELD electric load value. Let's graph those. For example, if you turn the lights on, see that load increases. The alternator is at 60%. If you rev up the car, the percent will drop. So right now it's perfectly fine. This is an intermittent fault, so the only thing this could be is an alternator. But just for kicks, let's check all data, what they say to do to troubleshoot this trouble code. Alright, here we go. P1549 charging system high voltage. Is P1549 indicated? Yes, replace the alternator. That's it. That's all the diagnostics we have in this trouble tree. So I have a new Denso Reman alternator in stock from RockAuto. So let's see how to do this, or what the labor time is. It says almost 2.5 hours. Okay. Remove drive belt. Disconnect the AC compressor clutch. Remove AC compressor without disconnecting the hoses. Do not bend the AC hoses excessively. Hang the AC compressor with a wire. Power steering reservoir, so it's a little bit jammed up here in the front, but let's see if we can get it out the easiest way possible. Alright, straight from RockAuto, we have a box that's a little bit banged up. It's taped up. These original tapes have been cut and has been retaped. So what are we going to find inside this box? Let's see. Hopefully it's something usable, because as we've seen, parts these days just... Alright, well, it looks pretty new. Hopefully nothing's snapped off or broken. Let me do a quick visual inspection. Uh-oh. Well, this thing is destroyed. The connector. So apparently that got banged up in the shipping process. There's some chunks in there. Hopefully we can make this work. As long as the 4 pins, that one looks a little bent. Oh, man. I have to fix the parts before installing them. It happens more and more often, I've noticed. Okay, that's no big deal. As long as we can secure that connector to the alternator, it should be okay. But this is part of the regulator. I'll take a picture and just for reference. Alright, so here's the alternator. It doesn't look terrible to get to. It is covered in grime, so there was an oil leak right here, so they replaced this gasket for the spool valve for that VCM system. So no more oil leak, but the alternator, I guess, got affected by that. I think there's actually a TSB on it. So how do we get this thing out? Can it squeeze by this hose? We might have to move the power steering reservoir and the coolant reservoir out of the way to make some room. But it looks like it should be able to squeeze out past this AC hose without removing the AC compressor. Alright, we have an oily alternator here on the fender, so there's enough room. If you get the coolant reservoir and the bracket, power steering reservoir and the bracket out of the way, so you can shift it over here and then squeeze it by this AC hose. You can unbolt it, just wiggle, 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 and it came out, so that's good. Let's pop the new one in. Alright, moment of truth. Alternator's plugged in. The broken connector, it's securely seated. I'm not worried about it popping out. Let's reset the clock. Alright, that's good. Let's log in to Honda. Make sure there are no trouble codes stored. I assume the battery disconnect. Clear the codes out, and we'll monitor the alternator parameters. Take it for a 10-mile test drive. Make sure everything is good. By the way, the total labor time here on the alternator, I did it in 40 minutes. So it's nice when the book time is very generous. So obviously charge for the full 2.2 hours or whatever. That's how the industry works. If you work efficiently, you shouldn't be penalized for working efficiently. You know, charge the appropriate book time. Let's go right into engine computer. Scan for codes. Okay. Read fault code. No trouble code. Excellent. Data stream. We'll do all the alternator. Battery voltage. And ELD load value. Let's graph that. Fire it up. .5, alternator's under control. No warning messages. Let's take it for a rip. Is there a weird sound coming from this alternator? I don't know. Let's take it for a test drive. I don't know. It's getting worse. Unreal. Shitty parts. How are you going to give this back to the customer? Will it self-clearance? I don't know. Is that a little better? Alright, let's take it for a spin. Looks like we're charging just fine. Just keeping it steady at 13.5 volts. Turn the lights off. Rock steady. So as long as that sound doesn't come back, we should be good. But you try to get the best parts. You wait days to get the good parts, and then I don't know. I guess it's working, so we'll let it go. Just leaves a bad taste in your mouth. So, hopefully this Honda will stay charging well and quick and easy. Basically, if that code says replace the alternator, especially if it's covered in oil. So, alright. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.